Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, and wow, 2024 is popping off with the crazy Magic news stories. Really just crazy news stories in general. I think we know this year is going to be the most bonkers thing I've ever lived through. Hope you're prepared. Hope you got your ducks in a row. But anyway, Midjourney, one of the biggest AI engines that makes images, one of the most developed, a lot of money behind it, a lot of good success, good code behind it. They're being accused of using Magic the Gathering artwork made by, hardworking artists over the last 30-some years as a basis for their program. How dare they? Now, how could this possibly be proven when Midjourney is one of the most developed ones? And let me I've got to explain how AI is getting around this, what they're being accused of, and all the legal stuff real quick. So you got the music imitators, you got the chat imitators, and then you got the image imitators, and there's some video imitators, but they're trash. Everybody's suing everybody. New York Times is suing ChatGPT or OpenAI or whatever, saying, oh, you're ripping off our articles, blah, blah, blah. So the number one claim, for the record, is you used our stuff as a basis with a scraper without authorization. They're like, well, why didn't you stop us? Why did your API let us access 10,000 articles, But if they're using like stuff to get around that and proxies and all that, they might have a little bit of a case. But what they don't have a case about is the end result. So if I just go to Google and type in paintings of boats outside of an island, I'm probably going to find 100 different paintings from 100 different people of boats outside an island. They're all going to look really similar, but they're all going to be different enough that they're not violating each other's copyrights. You can't just say, I was the first person to draw a picture of a chimpanzee with this type of hat on, so I get a copyright on that idea forever. No, you get your own artwork. If I just change up the background and make a slightly different looking chimp with a slightly different hat, or even the same damn hat, guess what? It's my own work. It's derivative, but it's my own work. And it doesn't, in that case, it doesn't matter if it's a market replacement. Because people can draw whatever the heck they want. Like, it has to be so stupidly close when it comes to images that it's almost indiscernible from the original. Like, if you just traced over it. So the copyright violation threshold for images is insanely high, and it's almost non-existent for music, by the way. That's why they don't even know what to do with those people that took like all of Tupac's music and then told it, here, write another one that's just like all of them, and they did. They released it online, they didn't try to fool anybody, they didn't try to sell it, and now they don't even know who to sue or what to do about it, and all the artists are panicking, and then 5 seconds later, everybody's like, hey, we're rewriting your contract so we can use AI to make more music if you die or quit. And the artists are like, no, you're going to replace me tomorrow, so no, because it's cheaper. It's like tens of dollars to pay the AI the electric bill to like create more songs, and it's a hell of a lot more than that to have you do it. And usually I'm on boo-hoo, like look at the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, all the technology that came in and eliminated someone's job. Oh, well, it made life easier, economics cheaper. It just moved us along. So like, get over it. Oh, boo-hoo, hand painted this and that, got replaced by a robot. Well, oh well. That was a stupid, unnecessary job anyway. Now, replacing art and music and like video production, okay, that we've been doing art and music for thousands of years. I should have been walking into Taco Bell and going boop, boop, boop on a screen to get exactly what I want for my order at whatever pace I want while looking at the whole menu up close without having to squint and talk to somebody who may or may not understand me. I might not understand them. I might be a loud, echoey restaurant, or I've got hearing issues on and off. And that's just stupid. Get rid of those people taking orders at fast food. That we should have had those giant screens, 30 years ago. So that kind of stuff, like, no, just get out of the way. Wah, wah, wah. I mean, you got to sit there and whine that, oh, half my job was rewinding tapes at Blockbuster. Well, boo-hoo, I can now just stay home, click a button, and your business sucked, and this was an improvement for mankind as a whole, just saying. But in this case, it's like art and music. Like, that's a step too far. Now, what are you going to do to stop it? So you're going to have to get behind it, but I'm not as adamant about this, or cynical, or like, boo-hoo, move on, Now, legally, like I said, you've got to have a virtually identical image. Here's the big hiccups. What if I tell AI to generate the Pepsi logo and it does it really accurately? It could be an amalgamation of every other depiction of it that's never been seen verbatim before, but it's still the Pepsi logo and I still can't use it. That's trademark law, not copyright, though, by the way, for the record. But what if I said, hey, create an AI-generated image of SpongeBob? Is the depiction of the character legally defendable? Yeah, I think it is. But I think it's like I don't know the laws about that, but just generally the answer is yes. I'm still not sure if it's like identity versus real person versus fake person, and if it's different, and then like trademark versus copyright. But generally, yeah, you can't just say, no, I just drew a sponge and it's a coincidence, get over it. Like, is this exactly the same as something they're selling? A still from the show? A poster? No, well then, too bad. No, you still can't do that. And that's where they're trying to nail these companies. So ChatGPT, back in the day, I might have the story slightly wrong, but it was something like they said, hey, generate a scene from a book where this and this and this and this and this, and went just absolutely as specific as possible. And eventually the chat program just spit out like 3 exact word-for-word paragraphs from Harry Potter. Because at that specificity level, they're like, well, our sample size is 1, but we still have a sample size, so what are they doing? Minimum mixing amounts enforced. They got little safeguards in pretty much every AI right now where they're like, well, here was the number one problem that I heard about. Let's say there's like some actor and he was in almost nothing and all of a sudden he's in something that's kind of popping off and got 10,000 views or something. It was some little minor Netflix thing or something. Well, you look up that actor and they've got a couple professional headshots and that's it. They weren't at any event. They weren't at, so 95% of the pictures, if not 100% of them on the internet by name, because they, that's the whole point about a PR firm and an agent is you want the person to be findable and you want their headshots to match and them to be like, that is the person. So if you scraped a couple databases, you scraped the whole web and you're like, oh, we have 12 whole photos of, Mikael Smitty Werman Jagerman Jensen. I was going to say Michael Smith, but I'm like, yeah, good luck typing that in Google. You get an amalgamation of everybody ever named Michael Smith. But famous Russian actor Mikhail only has 12 photos. They're all taken at the same time at one photography facility, and they're all copyrighted by the agent that is representing them. So your AI spits out something that's like they're wearing the same tuxedo that they were in all 12 of the photos. Their hair is exactly the same as it was in all 12 of the photos. You're getting pretty darn close because it's pretty obvious that you only use one set of all copyrighted together photos to generate that image. So now any respectable engine is saying, okay, if we only have a sample size of this, like enforce a minimum sample size of like 50, 100, whatever. So if somebody says exactly specifically this, well, if you don't have 100 pictures of that, you only have 10, that's not safe. You might accidentally spit out something that is way too close, if not exactly the same, as something that is a copyrighted work that already exists. So like I said, those safeguards are in place. Now let's move on. There goes all the lawsuits. A lot of the earlier lawsuits you're hearing about were over that, or they're just whining and complaining like the New York Times. So with that one, they were purposely like tricking it into directly quoting their articles by asking it to directly quote their articles is my understanding of it. And that was just found out yesterday, I believe. So there goes the lawsuit, you lying assholes. I know, shocking. The New York Times would lie about something to make money, huh? As they're failing miserably because they went so far left that nobody wants to read their bullshit. It's almost like that's a pattern in the last 2 years. Maybe. So the problems arise where if I say generate a, 2004, whenever he was running Barack Obama campaign poster. And like there only ever was one. And then the AI spits out like an amalgamation of 1,000 different photos of one. But they're all the same. They're all pictures of the same picture and different versions of the same graphic on different websites. So it thinks that it's a sample size of 1,000, but it spits out a poster that's basically copyrighted. Then you got a problem. That's just about the only legitimate copyright claim that somebody can make right now. Everything else falls apart. Almost all the music ones are falling apart. The chat ones with the minimums in there, you're never going to win. So with that set up, what do we have here? Midjourney is being accused of using Magic the Gathering art. What's their evidence? Did it spit out a picture of Jason? They're like, how'd you get that? Well, when you hear the answer, it's actually pretty funny. And spoiler, I was going to leave it till the end. But so one of the plaintiffs putting together this lawsuit here, I believe his name is Reed Southern. He has screenshots from Midjourney's own Discord server, allegedly, he's going to court, so I mean, come on, but still allegedly, David Holes, the CEO of Midjourney, saying word for word that they used a bunch of magic artists or magic art and magic cards as the basis for training their initial training. Or what did they say? It was, it's a very specific phrase. Oh, use huge swaths of MTG cards during the test phases. So maybe those didn't even come out to production. So now it's like, well, you used our stuff to develop your own thing, and then you made a completely your own thing, and it's not ripping off our copyright in any way, and now we're mad. Like, there's no law about that. They're just hoping you settle. Judges going to be like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, you looked at a bunch of different concrete that all has proprietary mixes or something, if that's even a thing, and then you made your own thing that's an amalgamation of all of them that's way better, and now they're mad that you used it as a basis. That's just called, like, technology progression or something. I'm struggling to even find something to compare it to that I've heard a legal precedent on. Like, you bought up a bunch of IKEA tables, found out how they work, found out how the structure works, tested the left-right shake and the durability and the weight limits, and then you used all that to make a superior version of your own table that's completely different. I'm pretty sure that's legal. I'm pretty sure that's how all companies work, actually. But that's more like testing and developing a physical object, so it's like, I don't know, I think there's nothing there. Now, allegedly, they used the work to make a fundamental foundation for the entire algorithm. Like, basically, all of Midjourney is based on just MTG cards, which that's ridiculous. So he's putting together this lawsuit, I guess, that is naming 4,700 artists as potential, I guess, class members, because it would have to be class action. I don't know. This lawsuit isn't very progressed so far. If you ask me, it's complete BS, but they have an admission direct from the CEO. So they might be pressured into settling, or this might be the one where they just go all the way out. Because if you settle once, you show weakness, the sharks are going to circle, and they smell blood. And you're going to get sued by everyone hoping you settle, and you might as well just win one lawsuit instead of trying to win 10. Because then you might win 3 and lose 7, and then what the hell does that even mean? And then you got a cross-site precedent, and that's a mess. So this could be a very, very nasty one, but this isn't just, oh, that kind of looks like a mix of our art. Well, prove it. And then he's trying to get discovery. The discovery would be the source code. The source code is proprietary and worth $1 billion. Unless it's OpenAI, then it's not, which is why everybody's targeting them. That would be the open part. It is a mess, an absolute mess. So normally this Holes guy, he stays away from any kind of, debates or defenses or back and forth on Twitter about all this stuff, the copyright and plagiarism and all that stuff, because, if he makes a statement, they could use it in court. So he just doesn't talk about it. But this time he is directly in the screenshot saying that that's what they use. So this is the one. I'm telling you, this isn't just magic news. This is going to be the big AI news. So all these lawsuits, the one against Stability AI, just name it. I don't think there is an AI out there that's not being sued. Everybody's saying, well, the entire tool is based on copyrighted work, so the entire tool is a copyright violation, even if it doesn't spit out copyright violations. Like I said, if you look at 10 different brands of tables or 10 different tables all made by IKEA and then make your own table, you made your own table, you know what I mean? If you looked at 50 different football stadiums and built your own cool-looking stadium with the best parts of each, you can't get sued because you didn't build the exact same stadium. Okay, you actually can copyright, the appearance of architecture, believe it or not. But if your blueprint differs enough by a minimal percentage, the architect can't sue ya. Well, they can, they'll just lose. So this is more of a fundamental philosophical thing that most judges don't want to touch. It's just going to go to the Supreme Court anyway, where they're trying to frame it as this guy made a successful bunch of Mexican restaurants that now have 100 locations, but 100% of his money provably came from crime. What are the laws on that? I actually have absolutely no idea, because if you didn't get caught and they can't prove it, or they already caught you and put you in jail, and then you paid back the amount that the court said you made from illicit dealings, but then you took $10,000 and turned it into $100,000, and you only owed back the $10,000, or because it's a court thing, 3 times usually. So the court took $30K, then the 70 is still there, and then that turned into $1 million because, you kept investing in real estate and expanded your delicious taco stand business or whatever. I'm pretty sure you can keep operating the business, or someone the whole business doesn't get everything demolished. Everything has to rebrand, sell off, liquidate instantly because you came from illegal money. I think it's too far disconnected. And that's why I think this is all going to fail. This is utterly ridiculous. And they can prove that they scanned Wikimedia Commons. They scanned public domain stuff. Come on. And the big issues is Getty Images are hey, we bought up exclusively. This was our goal. Every picture we could possibly find of so-and-so whatever. So we own 95 to 100% of all photos out there on the entire internet of this one individual. And we know that you scanned our database because, look at their clothing, look at this, look at that, look at the background. You obviously used ours as a basis. But they don't usually own a person's likeness because that is almost impossible. I think they have to be playing a character, and then it's the likeness of the character, and it's that whole, you use my likeness without permission, that's pretty much not a thing in America. So besides the issues of it spitting out, Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse, yes, I chose both of those as the worst possible example. I thought it was funny. Or Ronald McDonald or something, I don't think there's much of a problem here with any of this. And I think I didn't mention this in this recording because I redid it because it got too long, but Usually it comes down to, oh, you thought that we used your stuff to tune our engine? Prove it. And then they cannot, because everything about Discovery, they're like, no, trade secret. No, can't have access to that. No, we can't give you that. Nope, we can't give that out as this is literally our competition suing us, so we can't give them our source code. That's our proprietary stuff. And then that gets tied up in court forever until the other people run out of money. A lot of these lawsuits are bluffing. They just wanted early settlement because they know damn well they're probably not going to win. But this one has him saying, we used this. We used this early on to train our algorithm. This could be the really bad one. This could be the one where they throw everything at this. To me, this just screams everybody's mad and it's, ooh, old man shakes fist at clouds or whatever, at the sky. Whatever the idiom is. You guys know my brains don't really remember idioms correctly. But, they say, a broken clock is correct 4 times a day. But all the artists are like, okay, yeah, we're going to get replaced. Like, if somebody just wants some quick little thing, they no longer have to drop $200, $300, $400 to commission it or go to Fiverr and have some... they're already mad that foreigners are taking their job because the labor is just so much lower and they have computers now in, places where labor is lower. Take your own high school. How many of the people in your high school could draw exceptionally well? I mean, it's got to be dozens that I know of, and there's probably for every one I know, there's 10 that I don't know because I just haven't seen their art, or they didn't show it off or didn't tell nobody. So I bet there's 100 to 200 people coming out of my high school that are amazing artists, and then exceptionally virtually perfect artists, probably 5 to 10. Now expand that to every high school in every country and everywhere in the world that everybody has a computer or a drawing pad and a scanner. Yeah, artists are already mad. They weren't making any money before. They were really, stuck up and, ooh, this is worth $1 million. That pissed off. You guys ruined it. You ruined your reputation over the last couple hundred years. And now you're mad that you're getting displaced by everybody else who can do it. And now everybody's getting displaced by AI. And then the worst part is they're using your own work to sample it. But I got news for you. If I go tell somebody, hey, I want some fan art of Jace, from Magic the Gathering, what are they going to do? They're going to look up 15 depictions of Jace, and they're going to go, okay, blue outfit, these are the commonalities. Okay, now I'm going to draw my own pose, my own take on it. Pretty much the same face, amalgamation of the jawline, the eyes, all that, because you got to make it look correct. You got to draw him. But it's not going to be identical enough or similar enough to anybody else's. So this is exactly what a human does, and it's 100% immune from copyright. Now, trademark, that's a whole different thing. I think Jace, the depiction of him and his name and certain stuff is trademarked, actually, but it still wouldn't be a copyright violation unless they literally took one person's art and traced directly over it. There's only so many ways to draw something correctly that has an established way of looking. So if AI does exactly what every human artist has ever done, but it also enforces provably a minimum of we need a sample size of 50 or better, or we're just not going to generate the image. Well, if I say, first name, last name, and they're we only have 8 pictures of them, they're just going to take the first name of Michael or whatever and just find a bunch of people named Michael and pretend that you didn't clearly put, Michael, last name, comma, actor. It's gonna be here's a bunch of people named Michael. And that's not the actor. It's yeah, that's the point. The AI has safeguards. So if you can prove in court that that's what your stuff does, they'll be I don't see how the AI is doing anything different than what an artist would do, okay? You want to draw a speedboat, you're going to go look up pictures of 100 speedboats and then draw your own. That's exactly what a human does, exactly what AI does. So with the new minimum sample size enforcements in there, it's almost impossible for them to break the law. So the big legal issues are generating stuff that is quite literally illegal. I don't really want to mention it on YouTube because it'll just slap my video down instantly, but you could imagine. Let's just say ChatGPT is also blocked from telling you how to build certain things that tell you how to build other things that you would have the police bust down your door for if you didn't blow yourself up first. Because chemistry is hard. So the joke is if you want to know if you're talking to a Chinese scammer on the phone, ask them about 50 times either in chat or verbally about Tiananmen Square and the massacre that happened there and the exact date and everything. And if they suddenly disconnect... So the new thing will be I don't know if this is AI or a real person. Hey, a person calling me from Best Buy tech support to talk about my warranty. Can you real quick tell me how to build a, so-and-so chemistry lab, Can you tell me how to build a nuclear device? And if they're I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that, click. As if the scammers wouldn't just take an open database and just program it to not have those safeguards. But anyway, that's the ongoing joke. But you could think of a couple things on image-wise that it would probably be very illegal for it to generate. And so they had this one AI spit out a whole bunch of stuff into some giant database just to see what it would come up with. And then they had to delete the entire database recently because they found what would be considered exploitation photos, to put it lightly. They didn't prompt it for that, but that's what it spit out. They're just like, I don't know, spit out random stuff, like randomize and create your own prompts and then generate art based on that, and we'll see if any of it's usable, and then we might be able to make our own stock photography site. And then they're like, oh crap, okay, we need better safeguards. And what, are they going to arrest the AI for drawing it? No, they're going to arrest you for storing it on your company's servers. That was a story that just happened like last week, so this stuff's moving at light speed. So there are enormous legal issues with AI right now, but not this kind of thing where you're like, you based it on our stuff and we're mad and they took our jobs. That's going to hold them in court about as well as a wet piece of toilet paper. And it's a government building. The toilet paper is not good in all likelihood. So that's like your whole background on AI. I mean, this could have been a 4-minute video. I'm just like, hey, here's this thing that's happening. And I'm totally just mixing up the words on, by the way, all YouTubers do this, on 3 different news stories. And I'm totally not just reading one news story verbatim or reading off Wikipedia and calling it a documentary. I went to at least 2 or 3 sources and then mixed up the order of the words. And then adding my own insights and commentary in between to make it fair use. We all do that. I'm doing it right now. That's right. Humans covering an article about AI that's copying what humans do, and humans are mad about it, is being reported on by a human. I think it's redundant now at this point. Like, you get it. Like, and I'm doing what they're accusing them of doing, but we've always been doing this. Everybody does it. Because facts aren't copyrightable, only the exact order and presentation style. That's why recipes, maps, dictionaries, yeah, good luck. You really just can't even copyright those. Oh, and the article that I'm basing most of this off of links to another article, and the disclaimer strongly suggests that they used AI to write this article based on another article. Oh, I wish I was making this up. It's something you do to reference like the original person who broke the story. That's just proper journalism. So everybody's like, oh, okay, we're going to report on it too, but you were there first. So, we want to throw it your way. Everybody does it because then when it comes around to you, they'll do it to you. It's just what people do. But the way they wrote it makes me think, and the way this is written, and the fact that it was MSN.com, I think an AI wrote this. There is zero personality in this whatsoever. So AI ripped off another article about AI that was probably written by AI, rearranged it, and then I'm amalgamating 3 different articles to present it to you. That's where we're at right now. So anyway, what a fun news story. If I get any kind of additional news on this, I am absolutely going to keep covering it, so watch for updates. I don't think we'll hear any result of any lawsuit in the next 3 years, though, because this stuff's going to move at a glacial pace, which is funny because the development of AI is moving at, like I said, absolute maximum speed ahead. So hey, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.